Mike Meany with Cal State East Bay Construction Management Club. I'm here today to talk to you about building codes, not only for commercial but also residential homes. First off, we're going to start out with some of the basic requirements for commercial bathrooms. Now, there's quite a few codes out there, and let's see if we can go through some of them real quickly and simply. Now, the biggest code that we have to worry about was the ADA, American with Disabilities Act, that was established in 1976. As you can see, out here on the outside of our men's restroom, we have two ADA placards that show not only is it a men's restroom, but it's also handicap accessible. With these placards, for the visually impaired, they also have Braille on the bottom of them. This is very important in case somebody that is visually impaired needs to find the bathroom. Secondly, we're going to look at the door. The door's minimum width has to be 30 inches. Here, we have 35, which meets minimum code requirements, and then some. Additionally, the handles for doors have to be either this type of lever or a push lever. They cannot be a knob for disability required bathrooms. Now, opening the door, you have to test the door for 5 pounds of force when opening the door. It cannot exceed that. I don't have a tester here today, but you just have to take my word for it. Come on, follow me into the bathroom, and I'll show you some of the other things that are required. Here, we have our standard sink that needs to have 30 inches of clearance underneath the bottom of the bowl. As you can see here, we're at 31 inches. So again, we meet the ADA requirements and then some. Depth-wise, underneath the sink, you have to have a minimum of 19 inches. Again, here, we're at 24 inches. These are both critical aspects in case somebody that is coming in with a wheelchair has to position themselves under the sink to wash their hands. They're going to have room for their legs so they can reach the sink. Now, another thing about the sink is required is a heat shield for the hot water pipes and the disbursement pipes. Those things are there in case somebody with a wheelchair is coming by and they need to protect their legs from possible hot water. So, one of the major requirements is minimum clearances in a bathroom such as this. You're supposed to have minimum 4 feet clearance from the toilet to an open space out here. So somebody with a wheelchair can position their wheelchair freely and also be able to use the facilities. As you can see, we have handicap assist bars here that have to be a minimum 1 1/4 inch diameter for the people to use to position themselves on the toilet. Also, the toilet has to be a minimum 19 inches away from the wall, from the center line of the toilet, which we have center line of the toilet, 19 inches, perfect. As well as when the door is shut, you're supposed to have 24 inches of clearance so that a person can place their wheelchair. Now, the door is open here, that's not the case, but once the door is shut, we will have plenty of clearance. Thank you, and this is going to be the sum up for the commercial bathroom. Next, we'll move on to the residential. Hi, I'm Mike Meany with the Construction Management Club of Cal State East Bay, here again to talk to you about residential remodel for bathrooms. We've already discussed commercial remodel for bathrooms, but there's a few little things that are different for residential requirements. Number one, you do not have to have the ADA requirements for a residential remodel. These are the things that usually make or break a contractor during the commercial remodel process, but aren't really necessary for a residential because the individual needs of the residential homeowner are usually a little bit different. So if you follow me, I'll show you a few things about the residential remodel of the bathroom. Number one, code requirement for bathrooms is your exhaust fan. This is also the case for commercial bathrooms, but residential bathrooms, it's usually a little bit more important because residential bathrooms have usually one thing that commercial bathrooms don't, and that's a shower. The shower creates a lot of steam and create mold and mildew if you do not have an exhaust fan. Now, this exhaust fan here is on a switch. This controls the exhaust fan and turns it on and off. You can also have it attached to a humidistat. These things detect the amount of humidity in the air and automatically turn on or off. You can also have it on a timer as well. Now, some of the things about the shower that are code requirement and enforceable are the minimum shower widths. The length of the shower has to be the same thing as the width. It has to be a minimum of 30 inches wide. So here we have 31 inches for the shower. This meets minimum code requirements. Obviously, lengthwise, we're not too concerned about that. Now, shower heads must be a maximum of 2.5 gallons per minute. This will be located on the shower head assembly. If you go to your local hardware store, it'll show you the flow rates of these shower heads. Additionally, toilets. These things have to be a minimum 15 inches off an interior wall to the center line of the toilet. As you can see here, we have 18.5 inches. This meets minimum code requirements. Additionally, that has to be 15 inches away from any other object. Here we have our sink vanity, and that meets our minimum code requirement as well. Now, all toilets have to be 1.6 gallons flow rate per minute. Now, this toilet's designed as such. Again, going to the sink vanity, we need a minimum 2.5, or maximum 2.5 gallons per minute for a sink faucet. This can easily be tested if you take a measuring cup and fill up the measuring cup, dump it into a bucket over a minute, and you can figure out whether this sink is flowing at the proper rate. Also, the sink components will be labeled at your hardware store for such rates as well. Now, one of the most important things about a bathroom is the electrical outlets. If you're doing a bathroom remodel and it doesn't have an updated ground fault circuit interrupter, or GFCI, as we have here, you need to replace it with one, because what these do is, say you're operating a hairdryer or curling iron or some other electrical instrument here in the bathroom, and you have to drop it in the sink. What will happen is the power immediately gets shut off through the entire bathroom. And then you can reset it once you pull your instrument out of the sink with a reset switch located here. This is very, very important. Additionally, the heights and distance away from the sink is a code requirement for the GFCI. It has to be within a foot of the sink. So here we have a foot. It can either be above or below the sink, but again, it has to be within that foot. So these are some of the things that are required for the bathroom. Most of these things can be checked at your local building department, and they will come and inspect during the remodel phase. Make sure that you want to have all your codes up to date and ensure that all the construction processes done by your contractor are checked with code enforcement. Thank you. That's it.